Hi everyone, I'm Lorena and this is my partner Eliza, and today we're presenting our sales territory portfolio for Mitten State Dairy. And let's start off with our goal. And so our goal for this was to build a realistic CRM environment that shows more than just how to enter information into Salesforce and Smart.Fox, but we really wanted to show how a sales team can actually manage a territory with strategy, organization, and strong customer relationships. And so our advantage is that we're not just only tracking accounts, we're using the CRM to make better decisions, identify valuable opportunities, and understand which customers need the most attention.
Mitten State is a local Michigan supplier focused on fresh, high-quality milk, cheese, and cream. Unlike some of our competitors, we act as a reliable partner for restaurants and cafes, as well as some catering companies and markets. Our core differentiator is our emphasis on consistency and deep-rooted relationships with our clients.
And so, going off of that, we were assigned to the Michigan Grand Rapids territory. It was like a metro area. And this city was a logical choice for us due to the high density of farm-to-table restaurants such as Terra GR and iconic local cafes such as Madcap Coffee. And our assigned territory fits our positioning because these businesses rely on a dependable weekly supply of premium dairy goods.
Throughout this video, we're going to walk you through our 10 accounts and 14 opportunities. We'll explain our contact strategy, deep dive into our hero deal with Sanchez Bistro, and show you how Smart.Fox helped us visualize territory health through its analytics.
And so let's discuss our account hierarchy. We classified our 10 accounts into key, mid-tier, and opportunistic levels. For example, Sanchez Bistro and Gilmore Catering would be considered key accounts due to their high volume and strategic brand alignment.
Now I'm going to go through and walk you through each of our 10 accounts and where they are, what type they are, and how we know them. So one of our first accounts was Gilmore Catering. It is a catering company in Grand Rapids. They are a new prospect for us, and they are one of our key accounts, as well as Terra GR, which is a restaurant. We have lots of restaurants, including Sanchez Bistro, as well as the Savant-Garde. All of these restaurants we decided to go with because of their high use of dairy products. So we thought this would be a great opportunity for us to supply the dairy to the restaurants for that farm and table type that we were talking about. We also partnered with a single bakery called Nantucket Bake Shop because they required premium cream for a lot of their baking. So we decided to go with them. They are one of our mid-tier level accounts, as well as we decided to go with Madcap Coffee for a different type of account because we wanted somewhere where we could also offer a creamer and lots of options for the cafe, which is also opened up doors for Rouster Coffee, which is another coffee shop, and they also roast their own beans, so they were very on board with that farm to table type that we were talking about earlier. And then we had two kind of outlier accounts with Fulton Street Farmers Market. It is a farmers market in Grand Rapids that also is very big on farm to table, and Kingma's Market, which is kind of a specialty grocery store for higher end products. So we thought we could do some sort of opportunities with them as well. We didn't just target one person, we mapped out multiple influencers. At Sanchez, Mateo Sanchez is our economic buyer, the owner who makes the final call. But we also worked with Nathaniel Beaumont, who is the operations manager, as well as a couple other people. They act as a technical buyer, focused more on the logistics aspects. So it was a group and team effort.
And so we also, on the team effort, we engaged with Caroline Hastings, the kitchen manager at Sanchez Bistro, we classified her as their user influencer, and she cares about how our goat cheese integrates into Sanchez Bistro's menu workflow. And so by addressing the needs of Nathaniel Beaumont, Caroline Hastings, and Mateo Sanchez, like all three, we were able to ensure that there were no internal blockers during the sale.
Similarly, at Gilmore Catering, we balance with Ken Lamont Barat's focus on growth with Laura's focus on operational trust. We had to position Mitten State as a high-quality supplier that could handle their massive event scale without failing. So now I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the context for each account. So as I mentioned earlier, for Gilmore Catering, we decided to look into two main contacts for these. All of the contacts for this project were taken from LinkedIn, as well as all of our accounts were taken off online, any public information they had. Although the phone numbers and the emails for the individual people were made up for safety reasons or we couldn't find really information, but all of the positions that these people have within their companies and their names associated with each account are like from LinkedIn. So this is like a real connection, very real life opportunity. So at Gilmore Catering, we went with Kim Lamont Barat, and she is the director of catering and promotions. So that was something that we decided to go with because we thought, as someone who's in charge of like promotions and stuff, that would be a big opportunity for us to have her information. And the second contact that we had for Gilmore Catering was Laura Bai. She is the logistics coordinator, and so we thought that would be important because in combination with working with the promotions and catering manager as well as a logistics coordinator, that would create a great opportunity for us to try to upsell more for certain opportunities. Our other key account that we went with was Terra GR. This was a restaurant, and we decided to go with Clark Frayne, which is the owner and the operator of Terra GR. And we thought it would be good to have him involved because it is a smaller business, and so he does play a major part in a lot of the decision-making process, as well as Theodore Kingston. I believe this was a made-up name that we came up with, but we decided to put them as the supply chain operator because we thought that would be a very important role for us to be able to maybe use later on in more opportunities as well. And for our third key account, as we mentioned earlier, was Sanchez Bistro. So we decided to go with Mateo, who is the owner, as well as Caroline Hastings, who is the sales manager, Nathaniel Beaumont, who is the operations manager, and we also decided to include Charlotte Winthrop, who is the kitchen manager. So with all of these combined, we thought it would be great to have a lot of information and meetings with them in order to incorporate all of their decision-making skills in different parts. So with Charlotte, we decided to, who's the kitchen manager, she would be a good asset to have contacts with because she's the one who's actually doing the tastings and the one who's going to be restocking and taking inventory for their store. Whereas Nathaniel and Caroline are the sales and operations managers. They're the ones who are more in charge of the logistics behind it. And then, of course, Mateo Sanchez, who's the overall decision maker, and everyone reports back to him. And so we thought that would be a good contact to include as well.
Now, let's pivot to our actual Salesforce environment to look at our full sales pipeline of 14 opportunities. As you can see on the screen, we've built a diverse mix of business opportunities tailored to the Grand Rapids market.
Exactly. Per our project requirements, we balance this pipeline with a mix of new businesses and existing businesses. 7 of these deals represent renewals or expansions within our current partners, like the barista milk supply renewal for Madcap Coffee, while the other 7 are new prospects, which we are actively hunting.
So starting at the top, you'll see our closed won hero opportunity with Sanchez Bistro being our star player. However, notice the variety in stages for the rest of the territory. We have several late-stage deals in the negotiation and review stage, such as the high volume catering account for Gilmore Catering and the barista milk supply for Rouster Coffee.
These late-stage opportunities represent our immediate revenue potential. For these accounts, we've already completed the needs diagnosis and moved on to the handling objections regarding bulk pricing and delivery schedules.
So we also have multiple opportunities for some key accounts where it made strategic sense for us. For example, at Terra GR, we have a local cheese supplier conversion in the negotiation stage, but we also have a separate seasonal menu collaboration in the prospecting stage.
We treated these as separate decisions because the stakeholder influencers are different. With the core supply transition is more of a logistical supply chain heavy decision with Theodore Kingston, while the seasonal collaboration is more brand focused in partnership with Clark Frayne.
And going off of that, down in our mid-tier and opportunistic accounts section, you'll see deals such as the in-store sampling for Kingmas Market, as well as the specialty dairy renewal for the Sovngarde.
These are currently in the needs analysis and value proposition stages. While these are smaller in individual value than maybe some of our other accounts, they are still vital to the overall territory health because it helps boost our overall knowledge about how the accounts work for future sales.
Exactly. And so one thing we've been very careful about is pipeline integrity. You'll notice that our close dates are staggered realistically from late April all the way through September. And we just haven't parked everything at the end of the month to make things more realistic to a real-world B2B context.
I agree. And by ensuring that every opportunity has a logical stage, realistic value, and a specific close date, we allow Smart.Fox to be able to calculate an accurate weighted probability. And this is like a way that we can have a data-driven view of our territory rather than just like gut decisions. We find it very important to go off the numbers and see how accurate we can get our projections.
So overall, these 14 opportunities represent a total record count that shows we are high activity representatives and that we are not just focusing on the easy wins, but that we're managing the full life cycle of the client relationship dynamic across the entire Grand Rapids Metro Michigan territory. And so we're going to transition and segue into our hero deal. And so this hero deal consisted of Sandra's Bistro, which we've mentioned quite frequently, which had a 9.5K deal, specifically with the opportunity of their seasonal wine and goat cheese event series. And this deal is a perfect case study in needs diagnosis. Mateo, the owner, wanted to stand out during a summer tourism spike and requested an experience-based offering.
And with that experience-based offering, we decided that we would go off of that and extend more. And it's really interesting because this started out as a cold call lead and it moved through the prospecting and identification into needs analysis stage very quickly, where we spent time understanding the bistro's brand goals and expected customer demand through that tourism spike.
So on the note of the tourism spike, we did have to perform a technical maneuver with Sandra's Bistro. We classified as the skip stage. And so based on the Sandra's Bistro's uncommon urgency, a sort of passion for revenue, we realized that he and his company were in the ready to spend now stage of the sales pipeline. So we skipped the middle valuation phases to match his business readiness and ensuring that we didn't lose any momentum by forcing a slow traditional process.
Now, it was very quick, but that doesn't mean that we didn't hit a couple bumps along the way. We did have to overcome a couple price and quality objections. Mateo was very concerned about our premium pricing, following our guidance from Salesforce on handling objections. We moved away from a standard pitch and more conducted a hands-on tasting and pricing analysis, so he wouldn't really be worried about the quality or the price, and we just let our product speak for itself. And it was honestly what helped us close the deal at the end.
Yeah. And so with closing this deal, there were many lessons that we learned, in which a critical lesson that we learned is that a healthy sales pipeline requires discipline and not just optimism. And an example of that would be Gilmore Catering's dessert and cheese program upgrade. And we needed to reconsider with a back move on this opportunity.
Yes, which is not really something anybody really wants to do, but we had advanced this to the value proposition stage. But follow-up calls with Kim revealed that their menu and pricing wasn't actually really very finalized. There was some miscommunication, it was kind of vague, and if we had kept it in the late stages, it would have created more of a false positive in our forecast and kind of thrown off the whole thing. And as we mentioned earlier, we really did try throughout this whole process to make everything as accurate and clear as possible throughout, so that our forecasting and our numbers and our weighted probability wasn't thrown off throughout anything.
That's right. Yeah, it was tricky, but we ended up moving it back to the prospecting stage to realign ourselves as Mitten State Dairy, as well as, Gilmore Catering, to realign on expectations. And this truly illustrates our commitment as a team to Salesforce's pipeline integrity. And that in Smart.Fox, we learned that accuracy took precedence over a fast close, because it allowed, management to make better long-term resource decisions, and for our partnership to grow more on trust, and not just financial wins.
So, speaking of accuracy, let's take a look at the numbers. We logged 26 total activities, ensuring our key accounts received at least 5 meaningful touch points. So, usually a mix of emails, calls, or face-to-face meetings, such as the tasting we mentioned earlier.
So on a similar note, we look at our dashboard and we have a total record count of around 21 activities. And so clearly, our funnel is very top-heavy with a high concentration in prospecting and needs analysis. And this suggests a growth phase for us at Mitten State Dairy, and that we aren't just relying on our Sanchez Bistro win, but we're actively ensuring steady relationship growth with our other contracts and opportunities.
Exactly. And just because we're still prospecting and we haven't closed a ton throughout our time working on this for the last month does not mean that we're not successful. It just means, like she said, we are in a much more growth stage, which will blossom hopefully further on later during our busy season. And we can see that because we also utilized our weighted probability aspect on Smart.Fox. While our total pipeline value was high, our Smart.Fox calculates a more realistic multiplying deal value by the probability of the current stage, so that gives us more of an accurate representation of what we'll probably get out of it. And it gives our managers a more data-driven expectation of what it'll actually look like in revenue this quarter.
Yeah. So this sales environment, from what we've seen, as she was just mentioning, building this sales environment, Mitten State Dairy, as well as just looking at all the opportunities, the contacts, just really putting everything together, taught us that modern sales is not just about managing data, but truly about managing an effective sales dynamic with the local community, specifically in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area, in which with Smart.Fox and Salesforce to assist us, this technology helped us visualize our territory health in ways a simple spreadsheet or Google Doc or any kind of, format just did not have the capabilities to reach.
We hope that this portfolio demonstrates our ability to apply what we learned throughout the semester with the Smart.Fox certifications and practice, and different concepts like needs diagnosis or buying center and mapping in a real world territory. Thank you for your time, and we've learned a lot and enjoyed it.
Thank you.